Alright guys, JoRoSaR here, and we are going to be getting into our next game very shortly. It's in a different group. TLO and MVP Monster we have seen so far, but FuRy is going up against Louie. FuRy and Louie, this is going to be fun. Going to be lots of fun to say. The map is going to be GSL Daybreak, and this is Group 17. This is a huge best of 3, guys. I cannot emphasize how important it is. Both of these players, I believe, have lost to, and I should point out, absolutely no shame in losing to MVP Genius. So the winner of this best of 3 gets second place in the group. This is an absolutely huge match, and I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see what they can come up with. In the top right corner, ladies and gentlemen, of GSL Daybreak, we have spawning as our blue Terran. It's going to be none other than FuRy. And over here, in the bottom left corner of Daybreak, showcasing yet more of Europe's homebred European talent, we have, as the Red Protoss, Louie, or SirLoui in this game. So both of these players have a lot on the line in this particular game. They need to make sure that they are on the absolute tip-top of the game if they want to be able to progress through the group. The winner of this best of 3, as I just mentioned, is going to go through with MVP Genius into the next group stages, so we'll wait and see. It's no longer a matter for seeding, because I believe Genius has already won the group. But, of course, this is a lot more important than seeding. It is to do with life and death. So let's wait and see what these players come up with. We do have the barracks going down now for FuRy. Is he going to be going for anything similar to a 1-Rax expand? Just keep watching those gases and see if he takes one of them. If he does not take one, a 1-Rax expand is possible, or even a second Rax. We'll wait and see. No, the gas does indeed go down. So now we could be seeing a normal Terran build. We could be going for a 2-Rax pressure. We'll have to wait and see. All the options are currently open, as Louie going to be grabbing that gateway and that assimilator early on. Nice and chilled, pretty typical TVP here so far. Alright guys, and in the meantime, if you happen to be watching at a Barcraft Worldwide, hello to you. I'm so happy to be casting this Dreamhack tournament, and I'm really glad you guys are able to join me. So, down your drink. Hey, there we go. And we will get back to this game momentarily. I am JoRoSaR, of course, guys, casting one of the community streams here for Dreamhack. Lovely to be here with you guys. I'll also be casting the Battle.net UK World Championships and I-45 next month. But for now, Dreamhack is definitely all I'm thinking of. What a tremendous tournament we have here for you today. And this group stage match, pretty much everything is very important at the moment, but it's great to see players duking it out with the best in the world and saying, hey guys, look over here, we're not on a pro team, but we have a very high level of play as well, and we're going to show you what we're made of. And this is exactly the kind of thing I like to see. It looks like we're going to be going for a factory here from FuRy. I don't see a second gas just yet, so this probably isn't going to be a 1-1-1 as it currently stands. We'll have to wait and see where he decides to go with this. He could be going for a Marine tank style composition. Marauder Hellion is also vaguely effective as well, as we know. But anything is possible at this stage in the game. Second gas now being taken by Louie here, chrono boosting that Stalker after that initial Zealot popping out. And we do have a probe here, going to be making his way over to FuRy's half of the map. Going to try and sneak in a forward pylon if possible, and also get a little bit of scouting data as well. He mainly wants to see if FuRy has expanded, but if FuRy hasn't expanded, then he needs to be careful, because all sorts of one-base play is indeed possible. We do now have the starport going down as well, so it looks like we have an interesting variant on the 1-1-1 coming out of here from FuRy. I don't think he's going to have enough gas to pull it off, though, given how late this refinery went down. I could be wrong. Let's take a look and see what he chooses to do with this. But he really needs to keep those production structures constantly producing units. Indeed, we actually have Marines and Hellions come out here, which, in my opinion, suggests that we're going to see Marine drops with Hellions at the front, and that this starport is going to be producing a medevac. So we'll wait and see if that holds true. It does indeed. Oh, right. So what's going to happen is the Marines are slow units compared to the Hellions. So they're going to get lifted up into the medevac so that the medevac can transport them across the map basically as fast as a Hellion can walk. And the rest of the Hellions are just going to walk their way to the front of Louis's base while the medevac drops the Marines somewhere of choice. They can attack together up a cliffside if they so felt like it, or he can hit with the Marines at the back while the Hellions engage the front. There's several ways that he can try and make this engagement work for him, but it looks like these Marines are going to get lifted up into that medevac at some point soon, and we actually have a tech lab going down there, as well as a second starport. So we might be going into some interesting Sky Terran shenanigans over here, and wow! Actually, everything I just said went to pot, guys, because we have the Hellions being lifted up in the medevac. That was not what I was expecting at all. We see very often the Marines go down in the medevac with the Hellions going by ground, but it looks like FuRy has decided that this is the appropriate way to do it. This probe, though, is going to see the medevac come across his field of vision. Will Louis be able to react to it? Did he see it? He only caught it for about a second in game time, but that should be enough for him to check out the blip on the minimap. 3 Hellions now inside this medevac, going to be dropping in the back of SirLoui's base. We do have 2 tech labs going down, and wow, we've got a Raven coming out here from FuRy. This is a really, really interesting build indeed. I am curious to see what he's going to be popping into later on, but now the Hellions are going to be popped out. Will he be able to take down some drones? A couple of drones are now going down. More warp-ins, though, and we have a lot of Zealots here, and some Stalkers warped in as well. I don't actually think this drop is going to survive much longer, and he picks up in the medevac and wisely heads home. So a couple of workers killed there, 3 workers killed, but not quite so effective was that drop, and all these Marines ended up doing nothing during that. I'm a little bit surprised, and that observer has to be a little bit careful. There is a Raven towards the ramp here. If he goes down too early towards the natural, it could be tricky, as the second command center now is finally being built for FuRy, so he's going to want to try and macro it up. It looks like his opponent hasn't noticed the Raven yet, and the Raven hasn't noticed the Observer either, but he's going to be heading back up into his base. Does he see the Observer? He should see it in his field of vision now. No, not quite. Ooh, dear, that Observer surviving by the skin of his teeth there, as the medevac is now going to be dropping back home from that Hellion drop, doing a limited amount of damage, but also coming back with all 3 of the Hellions and the medevac as well. So not too bad coming out there from FuRy, as the second Immortal now is going to be popping out from Louis as well. Alright, Zealot's now going to be accompanying the base on the low ground. A pylon is actually behind this expansion, but will Louis be able to do anything with it at the moment? This army is looking pretty fearsome, and it's just standing there. I don't think FuRy can afford to warp anything in right this minute, and he actually is going to be going for that Stargate in the back of the base. Pardon me. So we might be seeing some Void Ray play back this up from our Protoss player, and meanwhile in FuRy's base, let's see what we have going down. We have another barracks going down. The second command center is going to be floating over to the natural now, and more 2-port Banshee non-stop coming out here. He really wants to pound his opponent with DPS. So the strategy from FuRy is going to be as follows. We have an absolute metric crap ton of Banshees with this army composition, and we have some Marines to back it up. So the DPS this army can potentially pull out is enormous, and he's going to use the Raven for PDD to try and stop Stalkers from hitting it. But if we take a quick look here, there are no Stalkers in this army composition, so that means these Banshees are going to be huge against this army, and that potentially, very nice force field there, stopping the Hellions from getting up, by the way. That's potentially going to be absolutely huge against Louis. Really effective against this army composition. He does need to move out soon, though, before Louis has a chance to warp in Stalkers. We do see the Raven now at 168 energy. He's going to have more than enough for PDD, and by the time he gets over there, he'll probably have enough for 2 as well, and that should enable him to just do as much damage as possible against this Protoss army. This is basically like a 1-0-1. We're ignoring the siege tanks and going 2-port Banshee, non-stop Marine production with it, and concussive shells actually being researched as well, so we're going to maybe see a couple of Marauders mixed in. 2 Vikings, surprisingly, now going up for FuRy in case of any anti-air, but I guess because of that Stargate, that's actually quite a wise decision. We do have a Phoenix popping out, though, but that is not going to do too much against the Vikings, because the Vikings have so much longer range, and now the hand from FuRy has indeed been revealed. There are 6 Banshees with this army, a bunch of Marines, a Marauder, and a Raven, and he is going to have to move out at some point soon before SirLoui decides, you know what, I'm just going to go nothing but anti-air from this point onwards, because if he does that, then FuRy could potentially be bringing himself back down to even ground very quickly indeed. 2 Phoenixes now going to be scouting around the map. He's probably going to be heading back around the back of FuRy's base here, Just want to see exactly what's up, and indeed he is going to be moving around here. He should see the Ghost Academy, which is now up for him. Very nice there, and we are going to be training a couple of those shortly to be using those EMPs in battle. More and more barracks being handed down here to try and get a couple more Marines in with this army composition, and once again, Louis needs to make more Stalkers. I mean, as it currently stands, the air dominance of FuRy is going to be very, very problematic for Louis to deal with. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but I'm also not sure why FuRy is waiting so long. I can't help but feeling he had a really nice timing, but he's just deciding not to use it, which is a little bit bizarre. 4 Vikings now going to be able to chase the Phoenixes away, and I think Louis knows that continuing to invest too much in Phoenixes might be a little bit problematic without Stalkers as well, but he's definitely going to give it a shot. More and more Vikings coming in now. 6 Vikings going to be able to handle a decent number of Phoenixes, and now we see finally the 2-port Banshee stopping production. We're going to be getting a couple more Ghosts on the field, Ghosts and Marauders out of those tech labs on the barracks as the Phoenixes pop straight back into the main for another look-see. He knows exactly what the composition is looking like, but the factory going to be giving up that reactor for the other starports, so we're going to finally see a little bit more conventional medevac based play. But my question to FuRy is, you had a really cool army composition earlier, but why didn't you attack with it? I would have liked to see a timing push there, especially considering they were basically Zealots, Immortals, and Sentries. Sentries being the only thing they can look up, and even then they only tickle slightly and go very down so fast against Banshees, it's actually disgusting to watch. But we will wait and see. It looks like Louis is going to be poking in with these Phoenixes once again, and he might actually catch the army of FuRy moving out. He does indeed. So FuRy going to try for a timing attack now, with a scary number of Sky Terran units, I'm going to be honest, and Marines to back it up means that those ground forces can't just target above. If he warps in some Stalkers as well, he needs to be careful about the DPS coming out of those Marines. These Phoenixes are going to be able to help with the battle, but we do note that the battle is won and lost on the ground. We have a couple of Stalkers joining the fray now. 6 in total. Is it going to be enough? The first Banshee bullet hits one of the Immortals, and it looks like, here we go, PDD going down, an excellent EMP, on so many of the Zealots, and a decent number of Immortals as well. Beautiful EMP, but will it be enough to hold these Banshees doing so much damage? He needs to target down the Stalkers. That's exactly what he's doing at the moment. The Phoenixes are gone, and it looks like Louis is in a little bit of trouble here. The cannons, though, helping out an incredible amount. He's actually pulling probes, and FuRy should be able to take this game. This composition, wow, EMP on all the probes as well, just to make sure they don't block his way for too long. And unfortunately, only Immortals left, and the Banshees are going to be able to have a field day. Louis gives the GG. FuRy going to be victorious in game number 1. I am JoRoSaR. Don't go anywhere, guys. This absolute clutch match in the group to determine who's going to go in second behind MVP Genius. I'll be right back after this quick commercial break.